Hi there, this is LT Survival, part 3 of the knots. We'll do a couple of knots, and they're more about the hoochie, the A tent, or the tarp tent that we're going to be using. So we'll see the 2 half turn and a half hitch, the daisy chain, the double bowline, and the Prussik knot. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Double bowline, or the there's many names for that knots, and there's many ways of doing it. This one is probably the only one that won't be used to make the tent, the hoochie. So this method of doing it is kind of the quick and dirty one. I explained myself. There is many ways of doing this knots. There's many use for that knot. This is a basically you could use that double bowline as a chair, so you can lift down or raise someone from a fall, someone that's unconscious. The quick and dirty way we do it doesn't turn it to just very much the buckles. So it is possible to slack and adjust buckles, but usually it's to have proportional buckles on the two cord. As you saw in the image at the beginning, the knot is, you might not have seen it, but the knot is pretty simple. It's the same way we did the single line bowline with the rabbit story, but with the twist. We start with a bite, a long bite. So we took a lot of rope, to have a bite. Basically, to work it, I simply folded my rope into. First of all, as in any bowline, we start with this end. Okay, this is the bite that we took, and this is our leading hand, and we're going to do a loop on the standing end. Okay, basically we fold the rope over, okay, to do a double hole, okay, like with the single one, but it has 2 rope in it. Okay, so we fold it over again, and then we take the rest. I'm going to give myself more rope. Okay, basically we keep a relatively long bite. Okay, and then we go through it like the story of the bunny, but our bunny decided to jump back. Are we seeing it? Okay, so we have our bunny out of the hole. Okay, but the bunny, instead of going around the tree, that would make a third bite. It's possible to do it that way. It's another nut. We'll come back underneath the nut, okay, and we secure that bite around the tree, okay, and then we take the loose. Here you go. So as if I had passed both rope into the knot, it's simply the back of the loop here that's fastened around our standing, our fixed end. So we have the bite here, okay, I pull on it, and we have our 2 different loop, so we can put the legs and the torso of our victims to raise or lower to somewhere else as a rescue knots. Okay, This is basically what it is. So I'm gonna undo it and redo it a second time, because this is, even though it's really easy to do, it's kind of a complex movement. Okay, so we make a loop with both our, I have my finger in the loop so I don't lose any of the two ropes. Okay, and our bunny is going to come out from the two loops. Okay, here's my bunny, but instead of going around, he goes, whoa, you have to maintain these loop as much as possible. So you take that loop and you push through both of its rope and you come over the hole. So that's the first part, and then you pull everything else, and the knot's going to secure itself, and you have two loops. Okay, so there's other method of doing this knots exactly that can be simpler or not. It is about the simplest way. There's many other way of doing a double loop knot, but this is the double chair knot. The how did I call that? The double bowline. Okay, it's the one we teach in the cadets. Okay. For this knot, the 2/2 turn and 2/2 hitch, it's a pretty simple knot. You need a post. Okay, here's my post. It's a flashlight, so hopefully you're going to see correctly. So you start by doing 2 turn, okay, 2/2 turn around your post. Then you go underneath the standing hand and you tie a first 1/2 hitch, and then you make a second that you will pull tight, both of them. Okay, whoops, both of them, and it makes the anchorage knot that you need to start your uchi, or your 8/8. Okay, so basically you go around the tree twice, once, twice, and then you make 1/2 hitch. Okay, it's the same knot I did earlier to show you the 1/2 hitch. So you make 2 of those. Okay, that makes your anchoring knot. The daisy chain. The daisy chain is easier when there's tension on your system, so it's not an easy one to show you, but it has an advantage. That easy to undo. Okay, so I've taken the 2/2 turn, okay, and I've exploited it a little more to be able to, here we go. Okay, I have some tension. I'm going to try to make it as easy to see as possible. So basically, instead of doing the half hitch, you might want to do just one. Okay, if you want to secure your cord, oops, okay, you might want to do one half hitch. Okay, that's my half hitch, just to secure my binding here. And then I want to make an escapee instead of doing a second half hitch, which would make it a little difficult to undo. I will pass a loop into the half hitch, and I can do that straight with my first knot instead of doing a half hitch. Okay, so here I pass a second half hitch, but it's a loop instead, and I keep looping into the knot here. Okay, so I loop back there, okay, and pull the tension to get all the slack from the first one, and I do the same thing on the third or fourth. Okay, that's not a strong knot, that's quite strong, but not as strong. Okay, and that will keep my knot done. But then when I need to undo it, all I have to do is pull the knot apart, and I can undo the whole cap. Okay, I would like, because of the half hitch here, I would have to pull it out, but that's already easier to undo than most. Well, first of all, the Prussik knot is either made on a ridge line, horizontal, or your descent line for rappel, for example, so it could be vertical. Both of the line will work. Under tension, this knot will not slip, but if you take the knot, you can move the knot around, okay, and slide it up and down. Okay, it could be used in climbing if you want to go back up a rope. Okay, that is you are rappelling down and you pass a ledge where you could change your ropes. Well, you could use this knot to make yourself a step ladder. So you pull out the knot and you put your weight on it, and then climb, and then have a second knot that you move again up, and you can climb again. Okay, for your tarp, you could use the knot here, and for a tarp, if you want to bind a tarp, if your knot is too big to go through the this is a simple fisherman knot, but you could use overhand knot or any other knot for the purpose, and you can you can pass that through a tarp and tension that tarp on the ridge line instead of through the eyelet. Okay, so let me show you how to make this knot, which is quite easy to do. First of all, you have to, the easiest way of doing it is creating a lashing. Okay, a lashing is a simple loop of rope. Okay, this one is about about 12 inches long, so you need 24 inches of your rope to be able to make all of this and start over again. So this knot will bind here, okay, on this. So you've got to go around. Okay, you see once. Okay, so once you've gone in the loop, you go a second turn around the rope. So you come back in and then go underneath the other part of the loop. Okay, and you tie the knot. It's very important beneath about where your line are going, adjusting every single part of the line so they stay parallel, so that way the knot works. Okay, here I have tensioned that knot, so the knot is able to slide, but if you put tension to it, it won't. Okay, so that's the way you're doing a Prussik knot. That's the easiest way. You could have no knots on this part, but you need a short cord to do it. Okay, works for many other things. You can suspend things to a ridge line, okay, or do another accessory for climbing or something like that. So that's the Prussik knot. As you've seen, all those knots can be used for tent making. They're really useful. Depends of how you're using it. Some more than others. The daisy chain or escape knot is one I favor a lot when I make a hoochie, because I like to disassemble it as fast as I can. So it's a way of putting everything away quickly. So if you're on the run, that's a better way of doing it. If you have time, well, use the classic knots and don't bother, but every one of those knots can be useful. So it's my way of doing it. I hope you like this episode, because it's teaching you all the knots you need to do a better job at knots. So with all those, that's 12 knots in 3 episodes, and you've got, I would say, 99% of what you need for knot making. So that way you can fix everything up and tie everything up to the purpose you need to do it, and do it efficiently. So practice and you'll master all those knots, and you'll be able to use them in the woods. So I hope you liked the episode. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, give it a thumbs down. Share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you back in a future video.